My daughter posted, POV, your biological father is so broke and embarrassing that you pretend your mom's new boyfriend is your real dad, so I stopped paying for her college. Now she's back, and maybe it's time to listen. Hey, viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. The alarm went off at 5 a.m., same as every weekday for the past 6 years. I rolled out of bed in my cramped studio apartment, the pull-out couch creaking under my weight. Emma's old bedroom furniture was still crammed in the corner, the desk where she used to do homework, the dresser I'd painted pink when she was 12. I kept telling myself I'd donate it eventually, but somehow never got around to it. Coffee first, then a quick shower before my shift at Regional Medical Center. As head of maintenance, I made decent money. $3,200 a month wasn't terrible. But with Emma's college expenses running close to $2,700 monthly, plus my own rent and bills, I was living on about $300 after everything was paid. The Honda Civic had been making that grinding noise for 3 weeks now, but car repairs would have to wait until next month. My phone buzzed. Emma, Dad, can you send money for textbooks? Need $400 loudly crying face. I stared at the message, then at my bank account. The $1,200 for her spring semester tuition was due in 5 days. I'd been picking up extra handyman jobs every weekend, but even with that overtime, I'd have to skip my own car maintenance again. Sure, honey. Give me until tomorrow. Thanks, Dad, you're the best. 2 hearts. I smiled despite my exhaustion. That's what fathers did, right? We figured it out. The next few months fell into the same rhythm. Emma would text about needing money, sometimes for books, sometimes for emergency dorm supplies, once for a $200 formal dress because everyone else has nice things, Dad. I'd work an extra shift or take on another weekend job fixing someone's fence or unclogging their drain. My social life had disappeared years ago, but that was fine. Emma was building her future. I saw her posts on Instagram sometimes. Coffee shop study sessions, nights out with friends, her dorm room decorated with fairy lights and plants. She looked happy. That's all that mattered. Her mother Lisa had remarried 3 years ago to Marcus, a sales manager who made good money. They lived in a nice suburban house with a 2-car garage and a yard. Marcus drove a BMW and wore expensive suits. I was genuinely happy for them. Emma deserved that stability, even if I couldn't provide it. David, you okay? My coworker Jake appeared beside me in the hospital cafeteria. Yeah, just tired. Working a lot of weekends lately. For Emma's school? I nodded. Jake's own daughter was a senior in high school, and he was already stressed about college costs. You're a good dad, man. She's lucky to have you. I hope so. Some days I worried I wasn't giving her enough, that she was missing out because her father was just a maintenance guy who lived in a studio apartment and drove a 12-year-old car. But I was doing my best. It was Jake's daughter Mia who showed me the video. Mr. David, I think you need to see this, she said quietly, cornering me after school. She volunteered at the hospital and had always been sweet to me. She handed me her phone. The TikTok was already playing. POV, your biological father is so broke and embarrassing that you pretend your mom's new boyfriend is your real dad at school events. Nail polish #dad problems #stepdad wins #sorry not sorry. The video showed a split screen. On the left, a photo of me in my work uniform, looking tired. On the right, Marcus in a suit, smiling. Then my apartment building versus their house. My Honda versus his BMW. Each comparison was set to upbeat music, like it was all a big joke. The caption read, "When your biological father tries so hard, but he's just not the vibe, you know? Thank God for stepdads who actually have their life together." Faced with years of joy, it had 47,000 views, 8,200 likes, 2,100 comments. I scrolled through a few. Your stepdad is so much hotter. Your real dad looks like he gave up on life. Girl, you're so much better off. Emma had replied to several. Yeah, my biological dad tries, but it's just awkward bringing him places. Grimacing face. And Marcus is literally everything my bio dad isn't. Successful, confident, actually put together. I handed the phone back to Mia and walked to my car. Sat there for 20 minutes, watching the video 3 more times. Each view felt like a punch to the chest. This was how my daughter saw me. Not as someone who worked 2 jobs to fund her dreams, but as an embarrassment. Someone she pretended wasn't her real father because I wasn't successful enough, wasn't handsome enough, wasn't worth claiming. I thought about all the times she'd been vague about our relationship. Parent weekend when she introduced me to her roommate as my mom's ex. The graduation party where she spent the whole time with Marcus and barely spoke to me. The way she'd grown distant over the past year, our conversations becoming transactional, just requests for money and brief thank yous. I've been funding my own humiliation. I didn't call Emma, didn't send an angry text or demand she take down the video. Instead, I made some phone calls. First, to State University's bursar office. I need to remove myself as an authorized payer on Emma Morrison's account, I said. She's legally an adult, and I'm no longer responsible for her tuition. The representative seemed surprised. Are you sure, Mr. Morrison? The spring semester payment is due in 3 days. I'm sure. Next, I called my lawyer. I want to set up a scholarship fund, I told him, for underprivileged students who are working their way through college. That's very generous, David. How much are we talking about? About $15,000 to start. It's money I've been saving for education expenses. Finally, I updated my will. Emma had been my sole beneficiary, but that didn't seem appropriate anymore. I redirected everything to the scholarship fund. Then I blocked Emma on all social media platforms. Not out of anger, but because I needed space to figure out who I was beyond being her personal ATM. The call started 3 days later. Dad, there's some problem with my tuition payment. The bursar said you removed yourself from my account? I think there was a mistake. I didn't answer. Or the next call. Or the 23 calls that followed over the next week. The voicemail started desperate. Dad, I really need you to call me back. I can't get kicked out of school over a billing error. Then confused, I don't understand why you're not returning my calls. Did I do something wrong? Then angry. This is ridiculous. You can't just ignore your daughter. Call me back. I found myself checking her social media through a friend's account. She'd deleted the TikTok, but it was too late. Other people had screen recorded it, and it was everywhere. Her more recent posts seemed frantic, stressed. David, you seem different lately, said Sarah, one of the nurses I'd grown close to over the past few months. We'd been having coffee together after our shifts, and she'd become a good friend. Just dealing with some family stuff, I said. Want to talk about it? I found myself telling her everything. About working 2 jobs for 6 years, about the video, about my decision to step back. She's 19, David. Teenagers say stupid things, especially on social media. She probably didn't think about how it would affect you. Maybe, but she's not a child anymore. She's an adult who made a choice to publicly humiliate the person funding her life. Sarah was quiet for a moment. What does your gut tell you? That I'm tired of being taken for granted. That I've been so focused on providing for her that I forgot to require respect. That's fair. But she's still your daughter. I knew she was right. But I also knew I needed Emma to understand that actions have consequences, even when you're family. The voicemails evolved over the months. Dad, I know you're upset about that stupid video. I was just being dramatic for TikTok. I didn't mean any of it. Can we please talk? I'm sorry, okay? I was young and stupid. I posted it because my friends were bragging about their stepdads and I wanted to fit in. I know it was wrong. You can't just abandon your own daughter over a social media post. This is insane. Dad, please. Marcus told Mom he's not paying for college. They're fighting all the time and it's about me. I don't know what to do. I'm living back home and Marcus hates me being here. Mom is choosing him over me. I have nowhere else to go. The desperation in her voice grew with each message. Part of me wanted to cave, to rescue her like I always had. But another part, the part that had watched that video 50 times, stayed firm. I'd been working overtime and saving aggressively for months. Without Emma's expenses, I was able to move to a better apartment, fix my car, and even start planning a vacation. Sarah and I had grown closer, and for the first time in years, I was thinking about my own future instead of just surviving month to month. You look happier, Sarah observed one evening as we walked through the park. I feel lighter, I admitted. Like I've been carrying a weight I didn't realize was there. Any word from Emma? She calls every few days. Sometimes angry, sometimes apologetic. I think she's finally understanding that Marcus was never going to be a real father to her. Are you going to talk to her eventually? I'd been wrestling with that question for months. I don't know. Part of me wants to teach her that you can't just apologize your way out of everything. But she's still my daughter. What would it take for you to forgive her? I don't know if it's about forgiveness. It's about respect and understanding what she threw away. The knock came on a Saturday morning. I opened the door to find Emma standing there, looking smaller than I remembered. Her hair was unwashed, her clothes wrinkled. She'd been crying. "Dad, please. I've been trying to reach you for months." I stood in the doorway, not inviting her in. "I know. I'm sorry about the video. I was stupid and immature and I hurt you. I know that now. Do you?" Marcus left Mom last week. He said he never wanted to be a father and he was tired of pretending. Mom's devastated and she's blaming me for ruining her marriage. I felt a pang of sympathy, but kept my voice neutral. "That's unfortunate. I'm staying in a motel now. I couldn't afford the dorm after you stopped paying. I've been working at McDonald's, but it's not enough." "Emma, what exactly do you want from me?" "I want my dad back," she said, tears streaming down her face. "I want to fix this. I know I screwed up, but I can't lose you too." I studied her face, seeing the scared little girl I'd raised alongside the young woman who'd publicly mocked me. "You didn't just screw up, Emma. You told 50,000 people that I was an embarrassment you were ashamed to claim. You said I wasn't the vibe, and that you were grateful for someone who was everything I wasn't. I didn't mean, you meant it when you said it. You meant it when you replied to comments agreeing with people who said I looked like I'd given up on life. You meant it when you introduced me as your mom's ex instead of your father." She flinched at each example. "I was trying to be cool for my friends. I was insecure about not having money like them." "So you decided to humiliate the person who was working 60 hours a week to give you that money?" "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I'm so sorry, Dad." I felt the familiar urge to comfort her, to tell her it was okay and we'd figure it out together. But I also thought about the months of peace I'd had, the relationship I'd built with Sarah, the self-respect I'd slowly rebuilt. "I believe you're sorry," I said finally. "But sorry doesn't undo the damage. Sorry doesn't give me back my dignity or the respect I deserved as your father. What can I do? Tell me what to do, and I'll do it." "I don't know if there's anything you can do, Emma. Some things can't be fixed with apologies." She broke down completely then, sobbing on my doorstep. "Please don't give up on me. I don't have anyone else. You made that choice when you decided Marcus was your real father." "He was never my real father. You are. You're the one who raised me and took care of me and sacrificed everything for me. But I was broke and embarrassing, remember? Not successful enough to claim. I was wrong. I was so wrong and I hate myself for it." I leaned against the doorframe, exhausted. "Emma, I need you to understand something. For 6 years, I lived like a monk so you could have everything you wanted. I worked weekends, skipped meals, drove a car that was falling apart, and lived in a studio apartment. I did it gladly because I loved you. I know, do you? Because you took all of that sacrifice and turned it into content for a joke. You let strangers mock your father for entertainment. You were embarrassed by the very things that proved how much I loved you." She nodded miserably. "I know. I was awful. You were. And the worst part is, you only care now because Marcus showed his true colors. If he'd stayed and kept playing dad, you'd probably never have thought about me again. That's not true, isn't it? You deleted my number, Emma. You blocked me on social media. You were done with me the moment you posted that video." She was quiet for a long moment. "What do you want me to say?" "I want you to understand that you didn't just hurt my feelings. You tried to erase me from your life while keeping my financial support. You wanted the benefits of having a father without the social embarrassment of claiming me. I understand that now. Do you? Because understanding means accepting that there are consequences. That you can't just apologize and expect everything to go back to normal." She looked up at me with red-rimmed eyes. "Are you saying you'll never forgive me?" I was quiet for a long time, thinking about Sarah's question. What would it take? I'm saying forgiveness isn't the same as pretending nothing happened. I'm saying that respect, once lost, has to be earned back slowly. I'm saying that you're going to have to prove you've changed, not just say it. How? Figure it out yourself. You're an adult now. That's what you wanted, right? To be independent and make your own choices. I don't know how to fix this. Then you'll learn. The same way I learned how to be a single father at 26. The same way I learned to stretch every dollar so you could have opportunities one never had. She wiped her nose with her sleeve. I'm scared, Dad. For the first time in months, I felt my resolve soften slightly. Being scared is part of growing up. Will you think about maybe talking to me again? In the future? I looked at this broken young woman who was my daughter, remembering the little girl who used to wait by the window for me to come home from work. Maybe, but not until you've figured out how to stand on your own 2 feet. Not until you've learned what it means to work for something instead of just asking for it. Okay, she said quietly. I'll try. Don't try. Do it. And Emma, yeah. The next time you want to throw someone under the bus for social media clout, remember how this feels. She nodded and walked away, her shoulders shaking. I watched her get into a beat-up car I didn't recognize and drive off. Sarah was waiting for me when I got back inside. How was that? Harder than I expected, I admitted. Part of me wanted to just hug her and tell her it was okay. But you didn't. No, because it's not okay. And she needs to learn that actions have consequences, even when you're family. Do you think she will? Learn, I mean. I thought about it. I hope so. She's going to have to if she wants any chance of us having a relationship again. And do you want that? A relationship with her? Eventually, maybe. But not the old relationship where I give and she takes. If we're going to rebuild, it has to be as equals. As adults who respect each other. Sarah nodded. That's fair. She's my daughter, I said, more to myself than to her. I'll always love her. But I can't save her from herself anymore. She has to do that work. 6 months later, Emma texted me, Dad, I'm in community college now and working full-time. I'm paying my own way. I know I have a lot to prove, but I'm trying to become someone you can be proud of again. I understand if you're not ready to talk, but I wanted you to know I'm working on it. I stared at the message for a long time before responding. I'm proud of you for trying. Keep going. It wasn't forgiveness, not yet, but it was a start. Maybe that was enough for now. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.